This is every single way to book a hotel using your Chase points. I'm talking 5-star luxury, all-inclusives, and even pit stops along a road trip. Using your credit card points to book hotels will make it a thing of the past. But first, this is Nurse Michael Travels. My name's Michael. I'm a registered nurse with a passion for saving you money on travel. Let's get into it. The prerequisites for what we're about to talk about here is that you need either the Sapphire Preferred, the Sapphire Reserve, or the Ink Preferred card, which is a business card. However, you need one of these cards to access the Ultimate Rewards program, which is key to using all these benefits we're about to talk about. So let's get into the good stuff. Option number one is the Chase Travel Portal. This option is very easy to use, and it gives you 5x points or 10x points back if you use cash to pay for your travel purchases, depending on if you have the Sapphire Preferred or the Sapphire Reserve card. And you'll also get 25% more value on your points if you use the Sapphire Preferred, or 50% more value on points if you use the Sapphire Reserve. And so essentially, for every 100 points that you use, instead of getting $1 of cash back, you get $1.25 worth of value when you used it towards a travel portal. And with the Reserve, you get the 50%, so every 100 points is $1.50. So this makes the 60,000 sign-up bonus for the Chase Sapphire Preferred turn into $800 worth of value using on the Chase Travel Portal. Also, the Sapphire Preferred gives you a $50 credit whenever you use it towards hotels booked on the Chase Travel Portal. Let me show you how easy it is to use. Let's hop on the laptop here. Alright, so I just logged in to my Chase Ultimate Rewards, and now we've got these two options here. I have my Chase Freedom Flex card and then my Chase Sapphire Preferred. Got a link to the Freedom Flex card review up here. So like I said, we need to access our Sapphire Preferred in order to access those benefits we've talked about so far. So I'm going to click there. That's going to take us to this screen to our Chase Ultimate Rewards. We're going to click the menu. We're going to click Travel. Go down here. Click on Travel here to access the travel portal, and that will take us here. So you got the option to choose hotels, flights, cars, activities, cruises. So yes, you could book all these things on the portal and get the 25% or 50% benefit for your points, depending on which card you have. So we're going to go ahead and click hotels. And so let's go somewhere. I'm thinking Chicago, aren't you? So we're going to look up Chicago, look up a long weekend in May. We've got 2 adults that are going. So let's check that out. As you can see here, I have 94,000 points. Then it does the math for me. That'll equal up to $1,100. And so I went ahead and switched the filter over because it'll automatically default to $1,000 night hotels. We're not going to do that. I don't like paying more for $300 on a normal day, especially to visit a new city, because I really don't need a nice hotel, but they're nice to have. So looking here, you got some nice resorts, some hotels here. We've got the TripAdvisor and the star rating of the hotel. So let's go ahead and click this shiny building here, the Hyatt Centric. This will make a point later. So we'll choose room here. And so it tells you all the amenities, gives you all the information. So it tells you what kind of bed we're looking at here, what all the different things. You've got free cancellation, non-refundable. I always opt for the free cancellation because you never know what's going to happen. Might find a better deal, etc. You're going to go ahead and click choose room. Tells you the price or how many points. And like I said, you get a $50 statement credit with the Chase Sapphire Preferred. And so you've got $1,000 here. You've got the option to use my points or keep my points and pay this amount. And so if you decide to pay with cash, you'll get 5x points if you're booking with your Sapphire Preferred card, or 10x points with your Reserve. And so let's say we want to use some points. The nice thing about this is you can use half and half or partial. And so we'll pay $67 out of pocket. And so what you'll do is you'll go ahead and hit traveler information. You'll fill out all your regular details. I'm going to go ahead and skip this page so you don't see all of my personal stuff. And then you'll hit payment and review. And again, it won't charge you until you hit submit. You enter your credit card. Even if you pay fully out of points, you'll need to put a credit card down for incidentals. And then I'm going to skip this as well. However, you just hit submit and there you go. You just made a booking with your credit card points. And that's how easy it is. Here's the problem with the Chase Travel Portal. For one, none of your hotel stays count towards status. So if you're staying at hotels frequently, it may be beneficial for you to kind of try to stay with one chain, so that way you can get some extra perks out of that. Two is that because it's a third-party program, if there's ever any issue with your reservation, then you're kind of stuck in the middle between between talking to the hotel and talking with Chase. And so to kind of secure yourself, I do recommend writing down and keeping track of your reservation codes. And I always want you to call the hotel probably soon after you make the reservation, after a couple days. Make sure they got your reservation on the books. Also call the hotel kind of before you leave for your trip to also make sure that they have your hotel reservation on the books, so that way you can foresee any hiccups before they arrive. And so that's one of the reasons why I always prefer to use this next option. But real quick, if you're liking what you're hearing so far, go ahead and let me know by smashing the like button down below. Alright, now that that's taken care of, let's get on. Okay, now we're going to get even more value from our Chase points by using Chase's travel partner, Hyatt. Okay, now what the heck does that mean? So if you don't know, Chase Ultimate Rewards partners with different travel programs. Think different frequent flyers and hotel programs, Hyatt being one of them. And if you don't know, Hyatt is a major hotel chain. They're not quite as big as your Marriotts and Hiltons, however they are still worldwide and they are growing every year. And so what we'll do is we'll transfer our Ultimate Rewards over to Hyatt, and this is extremely valuable because Hyatt uses an award chart. They have a relatively fixed price for each hotel depending on how nice it is and what award category it is. And so it's less susceptible to the fluctuation of cash prices during different peak seasons. And so this is how we get outsized value from our points, by using Hyatt. Okay, that may still sound like gibberish, but let's go ahead and look at some hotels and let's make some fake reservations here. Alright, so we're on the Hyatt website now. So first thing, you need to make a Hyatt account and then you need to log in. I'm already logged in here, and so we're gonna go ahead and search for, you guessed it, a long weekend in Chicago. So I got that information here. You want to make sure to always click the use points button if you're going to look for points options. That'll take us to this handy dandy map. And so you're able to zoom in on the hotel's area that you're looking for. You can see we've got a nice little list here. You got Hyatt Regency and all the different price points. And then, oh, look at that. We've got that Hyatt Centric that we were interested in earlier on the Chase portal. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. But off the top here, I've already done the liberty of doing some math here. You've got 18,000 points a night for this here, and if we look back at our previous booking, we used 78,000 points in order to use our $50 statement credit. And so if you divide that by the 3-night stay we're looking at, that's going to cost us 26,000 points per night on the travel portal, whereas using Hyatt, we're using only 18,000 points. And if you're curious about the cash booking as well, yes, it is a lot cheaper. On the Chase travel portal, it was costing us $1,042 for the 3 nights, and I'm already clicked through the cash price here. It would cost after taxes $917. And so that's another con of using the travel portal, is that you get the special member rates if you're a hotel member of like the Hyatt program. Moving on to points. So let's look at the rooms here. So we've got the room information. We've got both the king and queen option. We'll go ahead and hit the king option. And so this gives us some good information about the room as well as the cancellation policy. And so this tells us it's 3 days before arrival, or else you got to pay a 1-night fee. And so you always want to take a look at this, because this may vary depending on if it's an all-inclusive or if it's a holiday or if it's a super nice hotel. It may not be totally free. It may include a 1-night fee in order to cancel no matter how far in advance. So keep an eye out for that before booking. And so if we hit select here, it'll tell us we don't have enough points, and it'll tell us how many we need. And so we need 54,000, which is indeed 18,000 a night. This you want to pay attention to, because it may not be exactly 18,000 times 3. And I'll show you why here. So it gives us the option to go to the points calendar here. You'll also have that possibility if you go back to this page, to the points calendar. So if we click here, it'll take us to this page. And so this tells us some good information. So like I said, Hyatt has an award chart system. This tells us it's an award category 4, so it has its own designations of pricing. And so there's 3 different prices here. You've got the off-peak pricing, which is as low as 12,000 points a night for this hotel. You've got non-peak pricing, it's 15,000 a night, and then you've got on-peak or peak pricing of 18,000 a night. And so yes, you can switch up the nights to choose whichever pricing you want if your dates are flexible. And so with that being said, sometimes sometimes you can have peak and then non-peak pricing, and so it may not be as simple as 18,000 times 3. So you always want to click through and try to figure out how much it is per night, so that way you don't transfer too little points or too many points. So that's always a good practice to do as well. And if you're on the app specifically, you'll want to click through as far as you can, because it may show that the hotel is available, but then once you click through all the way, it'll show, oh, you actually don't have award availability, or they're not offering this hotel on points after all. So that's another tip to look out for. And so the next obvious question is, how do we get the points onto Hyatt? I'm glad you asked. Alright, so to transfer your Chase points over to Hyatt, you need to go back to the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, kind of like you're going to go to the travel portal. However, instead of clicking travel, you're going to hit transfer to travel partners. Doing that will take you to this page, and then you'll find Hyatt. You'll have to enroll, and so you'll need your member ID from the Hyatt website after you make your account. Anyways, I'm going to scroll down and click on Hyatt, and then it'll take you to this page where it tells you about the transfer timing. It says it may take up to 7 business days. However, every time I've done this, it's pretty instantaneous. The only time I would worry if you're doing back-to-back transfers for some reason, if you accidentally transfer the wrong amount, then it may cause a little delay. So after this page, it'll ask to verify your member ID, and then it'll ask how many points you want to transfer. You could type in how many you want to transfer here. Let's say 1,000. After you hit next, it'll just confirm that you're transferring the Sapphire to Hyatt. I'm not going to click it because I don't want to expose my ID. And then you'll just hit submit, and then wait a few minutes, and you go back to Hyatt, and you're able to book the hotel that we saw earlier. And that is how you book on Hyatt. Alright, so the next two options here, I'm going to kind of combine them in one. So Chase also is a transfer partner with IHG and Marriott. You know the Marriott brand. IHG, if you don't know, that's like your Holiday Inns, your Kimptons, and your Hotel Indigos. The only time I would ever recommend using the option of transferring to Marriott or IHG is if you already have a reservation in mind and you have a bunch of points, you're just missing a couple thousand, then I could totally understand you transferring a few thousand Chase points just to make that reservation. But otherwise, you're better off using one of the other methods we've talked about already. Just to prove a point here, we've got the IHG website. We're looking at a New York hotel in Times Square, Holiday Inn, 55,000 points for a single night. Looking at the travel portal on Chase, same hotel. Looking at the points value, we're looking at 36,000 points per night. Crazy. Marriott, same thing. Hotel, Times Square, New York, 64,000 points. Looking at the travel portal, same hotel, same night, we're looking at 32,000 points. And finally, looking at a Hyatt hotel, Times Square, New York City, 23,000 points. Boom, mic drop. Final 2 points here is if you do need to transfer your Chase points over to IHG or Marriott, you're going to use the same steps we used whenever we move Chase points over to Hyatt. Second is you will almost always get the best value of your Chase points if you use Hyatt as a transfer partner when booking a hotel. And that is every single way to book a hotel using your Chase points. So if you want to see me use my points on a real life redemption in Italy, go ahead, check this video out. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe. Thank y'all for checking in. See y'all in the next one.